So I want to tell you two more things, and with that we'll close. This story is perhaps the most moving story I've heard about Yontif. It's just frightening, just frightening. There's a wonderful Rav today in Manhattan. His name is Rabbi Yonason or Johnny Schipple. He has a wonderful, wonderful shul in Manhattan called The Base. It's a Kiruv shul. I've been there many times for brisson, for speeches, for Shabbosim. Incredible work that he's doing there. So he told me that for the last 10 years, he's been going together with the Square Rebbe and more than 100 Hasidim, they go to bake matzahs. Now, when the Square Hasidim go to bake matzahs, it's an event. They all go together. They all take their bekeshes and their streimlach. After they bake the matzahs, they all put on their bekeshes and their streimlach. They say Hallel, and they're singing and dancing, and it's a whole event. Now, the way it works is, I don't know if you've ever seen the process. You should all try to see it and take your children at least once or twice to see it. It's amazing how matzahs are made, shmur matzahs. And what happens is that there's dough that's set out, and it's parceled up, and different people of the Square Hasidim would cut it up and parcel it out, and then some people would roll it out, and then other people would then, I don't know if you've ever seen it, they roll something over it to make the holes, and then there's somebody who puts the matzahs on a long board, and they put this into this huge inferno of a fire, and then somebody has to take out the matzahs. It's a long, thin pole, and it's a flat piece of wood at the end, and he takes out the matzahs, and they put them on a table, and they have to judge whether the matzahs are kosher, whether they are nefuchais or kafulais, whether it's bent over or there's bubbles. So every year, different people did the job, different jobs. But this job of taking out the matzahs and ruling on the matzahs, there was one person who did it every year. His name was Rab Shaya Unger. Rab Shaya Unger was the gabbai of not only today's Rebbe, Rabbi Twersky, but the previous Rebbe as well. And this was his job. Now, he was getting older, and it was very, very difficult for him to stand up close to that big inferno, that big fire, to take out the matzahs and then put them out on the table and to judge on each matzah. So some people started saying to him, Rab Shaya, you're getting older. Why don't you let somebody else do that job? He said, no, I have to do the job. That's my job. I can't give it to anyone. Now, there's a Yiddish word. I don't know where it comes from, but he was called the Shibber. I guess you'd spell it Shibber. If anybody knows the origin of the word, please let me know. I don't know where it comes from, but that's what he's called in Yiddish. The Shibber, he's the one who takes out the matzahs. So finally, a few years ago, when it was really getting very, very difficult for him, he said, okay, I won't take out the matzahs, but I'm going to stand right by this fire, and as soon as they put the matzahs down, I'll judge. That I will not give up. That is my job, whether I have to kfulais or nefuchais, I have to paskin on each of the matzahs. So Rabbi Schipple told me that a couple years ago, he said to him, Rab Shaya, why are you so insistent? You're getting older. You paid your dues. You did it for so many years. Why do you have to be the one to take out the matzahs? And now that you can't take out the matzahs, but you want to judge them. He said, Rabbi Yonason, you don't remember what I told you? He said, when? He said, remember we were on that trip in Ukraine and we were going to the Kvarim of the Hasidic Rebbe's? He said, oh my. And then Rab Shaya told him the story again. And Rab Shaya said, I had the worst job in the history of Klal Yisrael. He said, I was in Auschwitz. And after the Jews were gassed to death, they would be packed up on flatbeds. There were 60, 70 people on a flatbed truck. And I had to walk along that truck, make sure that no bodies fell off. And so many nights when I walked with these bodies, I cried because I knew so many of these people. And my job was to take these bodies and put them in the crematorium. I had to put them in the fire. I've always felt so guilty that I had to do that. I felt terrible, but I had no choice because I would have been killed if I didn't do that. So I felt that I need a tikkun. A tikkun means an amendment, something to fix. I put into the fire. So now I have to take out of the fire. And he said, Rabbi Yonason, I don't see matzahs when I take out these people, these matzahs. I see faces. That's what I see. To me, every matzah is a face. I put into the fire. I've got to take him out of the fire. That's my tikkun. And he said, if I can't take them out of the fire anymore, at least I could rule on their kashrus. And when I heard this story, it occurred to me, only on Pesach night do we give an identity to the matzahs. We never call a challah by its name. We don't give a challah a name. But on the night of the Seder, they're Koyanim, Leviim, and Yisraelim. They're not only matzahs, they're faces. They're people. And that's what we have to tell our children. You see these matzahs? They come as a chefza shel mitzvah, as an object of a mitzvah. The Kohen, the Levi, the Yisrael, each one of us is one of those three. We have to be like the matzah. We come to the Seder table as an object of a mitzvah. We come to this world, whether we're Kohanim, Leviim, Yisraelim, it makes no difference. You know, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but the word Kohen, Levi, and Yisrael, the first letter is spelled Kli, a vessel, Keli. Kohen, Levi, Yisrael. And a Keli, the Gemara tells us, a Keli can be a Chazaq bracha, one that contains blessing. And I remember one time I bought my family, after I married off my youngest child, I bought my wife this, a silver vessel. And I called it Keli Chazaq bracha. This is, and I had the names of all the children engraved on it. Keli Chazaq bracha, that's really what we are all about. Each one of us is a vessel. Klal Yisrael, Akahanim, Leviim, Yisraelim, being blessing. We look at the matzahs, we show the kids. The matzahs come to the table, beautiful, special, because we want, their existence is to do a mitzvah. That's really what we're about as well.